The decision that many pro-choice campaigners had feared, and whilst it's not the final decision, people have been having their say, including Vice President Kamala Harris.
Those Republican leaders who are trying to weaponize the use of the law against women. Will we say, how dare they? How dare they tell a woman what she can do and cannot do with her own body? How dare they? How dare they try to stop her from determining her own future? How dare they try to deny women their rights and their freedoms?
This is all happening because the Supreme Court of 9 justices who serve life terms have been asked to rule on a law in the state of Mississippi. That law directly challenges Roe v. Wade. The bench has a conservative majority which is in favour of rolling back abortion rights. If the court is successful, nearly half of America could ban abortion. 13 states have so-called trigger laws. Another 13 would automatically ban all severely limit access. 36 million women of reproductive age would live in places without abortion services.
Following the leak of the draft, there have been many protests in states like Florida, where a restrictive law has already been signed which will ban abortion at 15 weeks. But pro-choice campaigners are worried that if Roe v. Wade is overturned, states like these will ban abortion outright.
We need to make sure that people are aware that abortion still remains legal. People can still access abortion care, and this fight is not over.
You can stay in school and have a baby. You can have a job and have a baby.
And as an adult woman, when birth control failed me, my husband and I made the choice to have a legal abortion. And I'm horrified that that decision would be stripped away from my grandsons and granddaughters.
Polls consistently suggest most Americans want to keep Roe v. Wade in place, but it's not what everyone wants.
I'm pro-life, and I've made that very clear from the moment I announced my candidacy. And I believe that what we found during the campaign and even through today is that there's a lot of common ground on this topic. We want fewer abortions in Virginia, not more.
It is very rare that rulings made by the Supreme Court are made public ahead of time, and draft opinions can change. The court will release its final decision over the summer. Nomir Iqbal, BBC News, North America.
After more than a month of strict lockdowns, authorities in China's biggest city of Shanghai are beginning to gradually ease restrictions. The number of new cases is falling, but thousands of people remain in government-run quarantine facilities as officials try to stop the spread of the Omicron wave. Our correspondent Robin Brandt reports.
It's taken more than a month, but now Shanghai's leaders think this outbreak is contained. So it's time for a mass cleanup. Disinfection by an army of workers, thousands of them, before a gradual opening up. But the brutal war against COVID has left a scarred city. People as old as 100 were among those tested positive and taken to quarantine centres. One man detailed what he saw firsthand on social media.
A lot of the old people have underlying health problems, and the conditions inside quarantine centres are not good. We hope the elderly can be sent to better hospitals.
In the 5 weeks I've been locked down, you can't step outside the gates. It's Shanghai's most vulnerable who've suffered the most. Almost all the official dead are elderly and unvaccinated. China's leaders insist that still chasing zero COVID is the right thing.
The enforcement has been harsh at times. Some people barricaded into their homes or forced out of them. Communities fenced off. But Xi Jinping has made it clear there's no change. The man in charge of China's ruling Communist Party believes persistence is victory. This is now a test of China's way, of his credibility. One part of China has changed tack, though.
Well, in Hong Kong, we never did a total lockdown. Schools were closed, a lot of people were working from home, but it was by no means a lockdown. And my concern in Shanghai would be, how long can this go on? Because the case numbers are not going to come down to zero immediately. They're going to drop down slowly, but the whole thing could happen again in a month or 2 months or 3 months if there's another outbreak of Omicron.
Debate about living with it on the mainland has been shut down in public though, and there's little room for dissent. This man was detained by police for simply showing his shopping, some pork donated by a neighbouring province. His crime highlighting the food supply problems. The government said this small-scale, subtle protest, banging pots in parts of Shanghai, is influenced by foreign forces. China's capital is now on guard against any spread. Most of this country has been virus-free now for almost 2 years. But as Omicron threatens, renewed anxiety is spreading. Robin Brandt, BBC News in Shanghai.
Now, time for a weather update. Here's Carol.
Hello again. Although many of us have started off on a cloudy and a wet note, further west, especially through the day, we will see some sunshine develop. We've got some rain moving away from the southeastern corner, but this line of showers coming in across much of the UK is going to drift eastwards through the day. Some of those will be heavy and thundery, but they will be hit and miss. We won't all see them. Drier conditions out towards the west with some sunshine and highs between 10 and 17 degrees. Now through this evening, we say goodbye to the remnants of those showers that push away. Under clear skies, some patchy mist and fog will form. Thicker cloud coming in across Northern Ireland and Scotland will introduce some spots of rain. And for some, it's going to be a cooler night than last night. So first thing tomorrow, we'll lose the patchy mist and fog. And for England and Wales, it's going to be a mostly dry day. Cloud building in northern England through the day, and the cloud remaining across many parts of Scotland and Northern Ireland, with still some of that rain across the far north. Temperatures though up to 21, possibly 22.
Watching BBC News with Joanna Gosling. Our headlines. The Ukrainian city of Lviv is hit